Hey guys, welcome to the horror show, and this is our Halloween week movie review.
Woo! Yes.
I'm Susie Von Slaughter.
I'm Jaime and Fuego.
And I'm Cecil Laird. And today we're going to be reviewing the movie Trick or Treat, directed by Michael Dougherty, starring Brian Cox, Anna Paquin, and Dylan Baker.
This is the one night.
Don't forget your costume.
All sorts of things. Roam free.
The Halloween School Bus Massacre.
Shh, be quiet.
Why?
You'll bother the neighbors.
Okay.
Wait. There's another tradition. Always check your candy.
Trick or Treat is an excellent choice, I think, for a Halloween movie. It's an anthology horror movie set specifically on Halloween night, so we figured what better movie to review this week than that. Now, there's actually a prologue and epilogue and about 4 stories in between. So the prologue is interesting, and it kind of sets up that there's a new bad guy in town that doesn't like people who don't like Halloween. And I won't say much more than that, but it segues into the first story, where you see a middle-aged man come home, and there's a overweight kid who's taking more candy than he should. It's a little
Smashing pumpkins.
all
kinds of
pumpkins,
stuff
just
like
being a
that.
dick.
just being
Yeah.
a bad kid on Halloween. So he's
Pump
taking more
kids.
candy than he should amongst doing these other things when this guy comes home. And he sees him and he sits him down and he's like, no, don't worry, I'm not mad, just here, eat all the candy you want. And he gives him a candy bar and the kid takes a bite of it. And basically the kid starts to vomit blood. And I won't go too much past that, but it's kind of interesting when you find out what happens with the guy and where he goes with the kid after that.
Especially being the high school principal, too.
Exactly. He's the high school principal. He's got a child of his own, and he's not quite right with what he does.
Not at all.
And then we move into the second story of the movie.
Which, at least for me, is the strongest in the entirety of it. It deals with mentally handicapped kids in a bus that go off a cliff. And, don't want to divulge too much beyond that. That's what the spoiler is for. But yeah, it's probably packed with the most scares because anytime children are in peril, I think it kind of pulls on the heartstrings a little bit more so than typical adults being put in horrific situations. So,
Absolutely. That's sort of the backstory of the middle tale.
About
It actually
separate.
follows a few younger kids who are walking around on the same streets that most of the other stories in this movie happen on,
Yep.
and they go to investigate what happened.
This legend,
exactly.
it's not so much a legend because they discovered the bus down there, but spoiler.
And then the third story, Susie, what was that one about?
Okay, third story comes in with, these, I don't know if they're older teenage girls, and they're getting ready for Halloween,
They're
they're trying to
supposed
get,
to be.
they're supposed to be, and then, they're getting their Halloween costume, trying to be cute and all that, and then there's just this one girl who's just very shy, kind of timid. It seems like she doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
Played by Anna Paquin.
All the other girls are just like, oh, come on, you'll be fine. And you think it's one thing, but it's something
There's a
entirely,
twist.
yeah, there's a twist. And so it's something entirely different. But as you follow it, you're kind of really caught off guard
You find
when
out
you find out
that
what
their
it
idea
actually
of
is.
fun isn't quite what you expect their idea of fun to be.
Right, they have a party, they're checking out with their costumes, and at the costume shop, one of the girls says, oh, you should, come with us, blah, blah. And so one of the guys actually meets them there, and they're trying to get dates for their party, each one of them. And so they're trying very hard for the younger shy girl to find her own date.
Exactly.
So each of them have one for
All of
their...
them want a boy that night.
Yeah.
It's Halloween,
Who
though,
doesn't?
right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like I said, stay for the spoilers because then you really find out
What actually
happens.
Mhm. And it's horrific, I will say that much.
Perfectly fun. I don't know. I do
As
that
it
kind of
should
thing all the time. I wasn't shocked at all, actually. I do it all the time.
And that leads into the fourth story, which is about sort of a surly neighborhood older man played by Brian Cox. He's kind of a hermit. He doesn't like people to come around. He also hates Halloween, and he gets an unannounced visitor in his house that night. And he has a bit of a battle where he wasn't anticipating. And
Let's
it's
just say it's a skeleton in the closet. So to
yeah,
speak.
we'll say something
And I
like that.
loved it.
Yeah, it was excellent. And the great thing about the movie is that all the stories tie into one another. some characters show up from one story to another in like quick glimpses, and you see them sort of passing like ships in the night kind of thing, you know.
It's the Pulp Fiction of horror anthology.
It sort of is, yeah. That's sort of a good way to describe it. And at the end, when you find out just exactly how all of it ties together, specifically a couple of the stories, you're kind of blown away, and it just makes for a really fun horror movie. Now, just want to touch on a couple of the technical aspects of the movie. I thought everything was really superb almost. You know, the cinematography was excellent. It was very accomplished, and everything was revealed as it needed to be. There were tension building angles and all kinds of things like that. So the cinematography was top notch. Now, what did you guys think of the production design? Like the way the suburban houses were set up, the town for the party, and all that stuff?
I just always think of the segment that I just spoke of, you know, just the scene at the bottom of this like ravine type area. There's water, the bus is still down there.
Very cool design.
Yeah, it all looked very impressive, impeccable in fact.
No, yeah, I loved it. All the scene. I can't really go into it. That's
Yeah.
the part that
We're
sucks,
holding
but
back right now.
No, it's killing me inside.
What did you think of
but
the acting?
I thought it was really well executed, actually. Especially, you know, when I was speaking of the girl who's very shy and timid. Again, like you think it's one thing that, you know, young girl trying to get. She's trying to get her first time,
Yeah.
and it's something completely. Yeah, gotta stay for the spoiler.
Let's talk about the effects. There wasn't a whole lot of CG, just a little bit used here and there to sort of enhance things, but it was a lot of practical effects, a lot of
Which I
cool
love.
gore, a lot of creative sort of kills.
Great use of blood and stuff like that, but not total and rampant, you know,
Some-
but like, you know, when utilized, was very effective.
A sprinkling of creature effects here and there. We won't say exactly what or how, but it's really cool. And not only that, but there's an excellent practical effect that's used on the new horror icon that they introduce in the movie. And once you sort of see it revealed in all its glory, I really dug it. And there's hints on the set right now as to what that might actually be. So if you watch the movie, check out the review again and you'll see exactly what I'm talking
It's
about.
kind of the mascot of the series, so to speak.
Exactly. And what's a cool thing that we know about the series itself, now that we can actually call it a series?
Yeah, exactly. Not only did they have a graphic novel that came out a few years ago, but last October they greenlit a sequel. So we can look forward to more of, the aforementioned character we won't talk about just yet. So.
Exactly. So that's going to be it for our regular review of the movie Trick or Treat. Most of you probably have seen it, but just in case you haven't, go check it out. If you have, watch it again. It's worth a rewatch. We all rewatched it for this, and I enjoyed it just as much the second time as I did the first time.
It's criminal it didn't get a theatrical release, man. It was
Yeah.
direct to video. Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So good.
It's actually a really, really great Halloween pick, so pick it up.
Remember to like, share, and subscribe the video if you liked it, guys. We appreciate it.
Head over to our Twitter at HorrorShow666.
And also don't forget to check out our podcast and email us. The links to all of that stuff is below.
And remember, guys, most importantly on this Halloween week,
Stay scared.